How's it going, guys? Wandering Beast here, and I know it doesn't really look like kayaking weather, but I am just finishing up the review on this. Now, unfortunately, I do have to send this back, and that is going to be a very sad day coming up here soon. And I'll kind of go over the reasons and the pros and the cons of this thing, but the short of it, if you don't want to watch my entire video, I absolutely love it for a lot of different reasons. Let's talk about it. Alright guys, so this is the ORU Inlet. It is an origami kayak. Now this is not the first one they've tried to do like this. They've got several other higher end models. This one was kind of their entry level, and I don't want to say beginner because it's honestly too good for beginner classification. This is an amazing, quick to set up, just easy, get on the water, no frills, amazing little kayak. As I just mentioned a second ago, I'm not looking forward to sending this back. I wish I could keep this. Just to let you know, I have been in the market for something similar to this or a stand-up paddleboard for a long time. And this is around that $1,000 mark, depending on what kind of deals you can get. And so are most higher-end stand-up paddleboards. Now, this one here is about 20 pounds. You'll see shots of it here, but it folds up in about the size of a suitcase. There are double folding paddles that ORU sells as well that fit inside of it. They have an extremely well-made little backpack that goes onto it. In fact, off camera, some of my folks that you're going to see coming up here, we were talking about if we could get a hold of a couple of these this spring, we might just do this backpacking trip through a couple of alpine lakes because they're just that light. Now, there are other foldable kayaks on the market. They're higher end than this, and they are extremely expensive. And there are lesser expensive options. Everything down to an Inlet, just inflatable. But even some of the nice inflatable ones, that rubber is extremely heavy. They're time consuming to put up, but they have the same benefit as this. They don't take up a lot of room, and you don't have the issue with trying to put a huge kayak up on a car. Or store it in your garage or apartment or anything else. This thing ticks a lot of boxes for a kayak that is easy to set up, quick to set up. It doesn't make an expedition out of the day to go get on the water like today in a couple minutes. In fact, I've thought about doing a time lapse to set this thing up, and it would only take a couple seconds. Honestly, even in normal time speed, while having a conversation, I can have this thing put together and ready for the water in about 2 minutes. And that's no joke. That's not 2 minutes rushing. That's just, it's literally a clip up front with the bulkhead, 2 over the top, piece of Velcro. The back piece has a stop in it, so you can't over tighten it. And then the same 2 clips in the bulkhead on the bottom. Once you put the seat in the middle and the backrest clipped in, you're set. And that literally takes about 2 minutes. Now, the first time you set it up, just figuring out what crease to unfold and refold for that origami, unfolding nature of it. And you'll see some shots as I talk here. That's your biggest learning curve, is that first couple minutes, and then you're on the water. This thing is rated, I think, to like 20,000 cycles. Now, this model that I have here has been passed around all year to many YouTube reviewers and photographers and magazines, and it is in really nice shape already. One of the bulkheads is slightly bent. I think somebody tried to put it away incorrectly or not carefully enough. Inexperienced kayaker, potentially one of the reviewers, but I was able to just bend it back, and it hasn't given me any trouble. Some of the Velcro, when it gets really wet or cold like it is out today, it's 29 degrees, it is warming up a little bit. Some of the Velcro gives you a little bit of fit, so maybe like a snap fitting would potentially be a better option than Velcro. And my only other critique with this is it would be nice to have some sort of, since it is this transforming kayak, why not have a small keel or something that you could throw in there? I don't really need a rudder system, but maybe a keel would be nice. But saying that, without a keel, I was able to go over some logs that were just a couple inches under the water. My draft, even at 265, is pretty deep on this. It sits pretty low in the water for me, but I'm a big guy. Let me put in a quick clip here. I've got some friends and colleagues that I've worked in Antarctica and the Arctic with. Professional kayak guides. In fact, I've got lots of really good friends. Soph and Yui, go look at a film called Isolation. They did a self-sufficient 14-day kayak trip in Antarctica. Jamie Sharp is another colleague of mine. He circumnavigated Svalbard with polar bears, which is a crazy film. Go find that one. But locally here, because of the pandemic, I still have access to some good friends and colleagues, and my friends Sarah and Haley, I gave them a chance here locally to take it for a whirl. Let's see what they think.
Yeah, so I was really surprised compared to other folding and inflatable kayaks I've tried before. I would say that this one has a really comfortable seat. It feels really secure. I didn't realize that there is a built-in foot brace that you can adjust. So it's something that can come down to someone my height or shorter, all the way up to Cody's height. Yeah. And the nice thing about it is that you don't have to rest your feet like on the bulkhead or be pushing on something that really isn't intended for that purpose. So having that built in, adjustable, is really great, but it also felt a lot more secure than I expected it to. So it was easier for me to get into a good position, a normal paddler's position that I would be sitting in a sea kayak, and to be able to find that comfort zone in a folding origami kayak is really impressive. It's that really surprised me.
Yeah. I was surprised about how light it is and how easy it was to set up, because a lot of the inflatable kayaks, they're heavy, we have some and we can't even really walk them down here, they're so heavy, and it takes a long time to inflate them, and it's really impressive actually how quickly that got set up and put on the water, and it was really durable. It just felt nice and secure, and I was easy to maneuver it quickly if I needed to, and it's really lightweight, and it's very impressive.
So as you can see, I mean, it's impressive, right? Like from the urban, not having to like put it on a car, not taking long to take it apart. You don't want to have to just create a day, be like, oh, I really like to go to the lake today, but I don't want to have to drag the kayak out of storage or get it on the top of the roof. Like, this thing just clips together in 2 seconds and you're on the water. And the neat thing is, if you do have a partner and you have two of these, the clips that hold it together in suitcase mode can be used to clip two boats together, so you can kind of have a party out on the lake. The backpack that it came with is actually phenomenal. It's a really high quality backpack. A lot of companies like this will sort of cheap put together something because people ask for a backpack. This is a straight up like serious backpack. Nice hip belt. It only weighs 20 pounds, so you don't need a lot, but it wouldn't take much to add another 20 pounds, strap on some camping gear, and go play in the mountains on foot and go explore some alpine lakes. The other thing that I never thought of before, but even there's a lot of regulations that are requiring you to either log what lakes and waters that you explore in, but also biosecure this, right? Something I dealt with in Antarctica was making sure that you're not carrying contaminants and algae and bacteria from lake to lake. That's a huge problem with enough people that are out in the summertime in the Pacific Northwest and all over. They are spreading contaminants, and as silly as some people think it is a serious thing. We don't want to spread those around and contaminate lakes, and we want to enjoy the waters that we have out there. So clean your boats in between your play times. But the neat thing about this, I can literally drag this into my shower and clean it inside. At 20 degrees, I don't want to get a hose out right now and, clean this thing off of the lake water. It's one of those things. And because it folds up, I'm going to take this in my shower, wash it down with warm water, let it dry inside the house, and then fold it up, and I have to package it up and send it back to ORU. Like I said, I have been looking for a SUP or paddleboard for a long time. This is about the same price point. However, right now, due to the pandemic, and of course we're coming into holidays, this is just not a priority for me. So I'm going to miss having this thing around. Potentially in the spring, we will circle back around and I will consider purchasing one from ORU because they're just that good. All right, guys, Wandering Beast signing off. Any comments, questions? I want to know what you think of this thing. If you guys are experienced paddle boarders, kayakers, if you just like getting out on the water and you think this is something you'd be interested in, leave them in the comments below. And yeah, we'll see you down the road. Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.